We're live. Oh my gosh! You know what, guys? Oh gosh, let me kind of go to the first topic. Will Liverpool remain their will Liverpool retain their title? Let me just kind of say to everyone out there, and again, thank you everyone who's been patiently waiting. In the green room, there's already been so much talk. So this is going to be a very interesting 2 hours. And I believe that we'll keep it to 2 hours. And again, thank you for the comments coming in. Oh, wow, already. Klopp out. Wow, Mark. Sorry, yeah. Klopp out already. You know what? Okay. Let's start the show. My name is Tabriz, and this is the Amateur Footballer. Hello and welcome to the Unhinged Amateur Footballer. My name is Tabriz, and you know what? Let's just go straight into it. Let me literally add everyone to this call. So at the top we have Ray, who is the independent manager, vets manager. Next to him we have Nana with the headphones with the Manchester United top, and those two are United fans. Welcome. And at the bottom we have Mark Martin, aka the Urban Teacher, and we have Paul, aka Black Klopp, and those two are Liverpool fans. And Jamal is laughing because he has to sit on the fence with this one. But again, guys, welcome. Again, this show is sponsored by London FA Challenge Cup and also Independent Vets as part of Independent. So you know what? Let's go straight in it. Let's start with Mark Martin as the guest. Welcome. Will Liverpool retain their league title?
So first of all, I want to thank you, Tabriz, for having me on your show, and really admire what you're doing on this platform to really give footballers a voice, and also interesting topics to talk about. In terms of Liverpool, we have witnessed for the last 2 to 3 years some of the best football in the world, or the best football I've ever seen. And we've had a range of different players that we've grown in the last 3 years. It is natural, and I think people should give us a real round of applause that after 3 years of such high intense football, we're having a dip. Now, will we retain the title after this dip? That's the question. I think that this year might be, with the injuries and with the players out of position, I think it might be a bit ambitious for us to win the league. And I think I'm actually admitting that now after so much thought and consideration.
Okay, fair point. I'm gonna pass the back to Nana as a United fan. Will Liverpool retain their league title?
Good evening, lads. I said on this platform probably 2 weeks ago, and I still strongly believe that they don't have the strength and depth to carry on what they're doing. Because yes, we've seen some of the best football on the planet over the last few years, but they are human beings, and if Klopp wants to continue with this high intensity football, he should have the strength and depth to be able to do that. It's that simple. This year, I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I think with the form of the top four, it's been inconsistent at times, and it's very clear that there's few teams who have been quite consistent. Not playing well. United are not playing that well, but we're showing that, and it's great to see. If you've been going on 3 years for this high pressing game, attacking game, you have to have the strength and depth to be able to deal with the demands of football. If you're going to play 80 games a season, and you don't have the personnel to do that. Because don't forget that when Liverpool started all this while, they didn't have a lot of football until they got to the Champions League, the Club World Cup, FA Cup, all sorts. It's very demanding on the human body. So until they get that strength in depth, not going to happen.
Okay.
I don't see them winning again for a while.
No, fair enough. Jamal, what do you think about Liverpool's season thus far?
Yeah, I agree with. I agree mostly with what's been said. In my opinion, I still think on paper, I know football isn't played on paper, but I think on paper, Manchester City is the best team in this division, and I think it's there to win. Yeah, Liverpool have been playing at an elite level for a long time, and yeah, there's a dip. I think it's down to Jurgen Klopp to find out if it's actually just going to be just a dip, or if this is going to be a more sort of prolonged period. But I don't think they'll retain the title. I think Manchester City should lead this league this season, but we'll see.
Okay. And Black Klopp, again, you love our manager. So what is the manager doing right or wrong this season compared to last?
He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything wrong. It's just how it goes. Major injuries to key players, having to move pieces around. That's just how it is. Still making chances, not putting them away. That's how football is. I doubt we're going to retain it. Man City can smell blood. They can go on a long run, which is what any team at this moment in time needs to do. Go on a long run, put some space between the pack. I see Man City doing that. I don't see us doing that. Too inconsistent. So, no.
Okay. And last but not least, Ray.
Your microphone, Ray.
Ray, we can't hear you. Ray, we can't.
Have you muted him, Therese? You don't want him to talk, innit?
Ray, I can't hear you. Ray, we can't hear you. Typical United fan.
Man, shut up, Therese. You remember what I told you, Therese?
Okay, all right. Okay, listen. Again, let me just kind of Ray. No, Ray. Nothing.
What's that
Move on for now.
banging in the background?
Yeah, where's the background noise coming from?
Yeah, that's too much banging.
You know what, Nana, that might be coming from you, but let me kind of go like to the comments so far. Someone says Wenger is looking for a new job. I think he's taking an absolute Mickey, but hey, you know what? I've got to keep on the fence with this topic. And the same person has said City or United will actually win the title this year. Titles go to Manchester or Leicester this year, unless you can get a centre back in. That is a good point.
Why is that a good point, Therese?
Well, I mean, at this present moment in time, and again, I've been told I've got to sit on the fence, but we will talk about the United game.
Let me school.
No, wait, hold on, Paul. Paul, let me go through the comments first.
That's
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, Osborne. You can't just let people
go on, then, Ray,
statements and not back it up. You know what I mean? That's just stupid. Sorry, Ray.
Go on, then, Ray.
It's fine. No, as I said, I don't see Liverpool retaining the title, but I'm not doom and gloom. I don't think they're out of it by any means, shape, or any way, shape, or form. They're creating more than answers. I think if Salah or Mane start scoring again, They're back in the race. So I think it's way too early to discount them. I just think it's madness to be jumping on this bandwagon and saying, "Oh, they can't do it. They can't." Man City have to be favourites at the moment because they've been there, they've done it, and they're in a groove at the moment. But that's not to say that Liverpool can't take it at all. So, and people saying Klopp out are just mad people.
Exactly.
What I
Thank
don't
you.
conform to is the excuses about. What I don't conform to is the excuses about this high intensity business catching up with them. I think that's nonsense. They're still creating a lot of chances. They're still dangerous. They're still threat, and they've had some injuries, but I think the injuries haven't bothered them half as much as before. They lost Van Dijk. Everyone thought they'd be leaking goals. They're not leaking goals. They're just not putting away their chances. So I just think it's just their forwards are out of form. It's unfortunate, and they'll snap back.
Can I ask Ray a question, please?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Ray. So
Yeah.
I accept the fact that you don't really believe in the impact that their style of play could be having on their form, but you think it's actually like what, nonsense? Like there's no sense to that at all?
Yeah, I don't. They're still creating chances. They're still creating. If you look
Oh,
at the game against
they're
us,
still playing well.
they had more
So if
than
they
enough
were
chances
playing
to win
badly,
that game.
right, okay.
They're
Okay.
still creating chances. They're still dominating games. The only
Right,
problem
right,
is they're just
okay.
not finishing them. I mean,
Okay.
look at the Burnley game. They had more than enough to win that game. They just didn't. They're just suffering a little at the moment, which happens.
So
It's
if
nothing to do with
they
their
were
style.
playing
It's
if
just
they were playing
bad.
poorly and looked a bit more lethargic, then you would believe more in the high intensity situation.
Yeah, yeah,
All right, cool. Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Mane
So-
doesn't look tired. Mane
The-
looks like full of energy.
The thing with Liverpool's performance is that the creativity and innovation and intensity, as we mentioned before, is gone. And I think this happens. Everything happens in cycles, and how much can that body take? And especially where everyone's playing out of position. If you look at our centre backs at the moment, we've rushed into youngsters who look a bit out of their depth at the moment. Let's be honest. And then also with our midfielders, I don't think Klopp trust any of those midfielders because he just keeps on rotating them. So that's one of the things that I'm seeing at the moment in terms of the whole format of the team. And then when you look at the strikers, Origi should be playing, man. I'm a big Origi fan.
Over
And he
who?
just comes in, he's only played 20 minutes the whole season.
Over who?
For who?
Yeah, who would you
Origi
drop?
should be playing over
Who would you take out?
Firmino, man.
What?
Firmino at the moment is not performing to his better self. And
Tabrice, this guy's not a Liverpool supporter. He's not a Liverpool supporter.
What you mean? What you mean?
He's not a Liverpool supporter. This guy's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry.
You know what?
look,
You know what?
this is a Firmino. Look, this is a Firmino diehard. Firmino should have been dropped after 5 games in this season. He hasn't been performing. I don't want the tricks and flicks. I want someone who is critical, who can help us to get to that next level. And Firmino hasn't done that. And the thing for me is Klopp just plays him because there is no one else that can fill his boots at this current time. But I just don't think he should be in the team.
Okay, and then Paul, what is your response to that?
I've told you my response. That's crazy talk. That's crazy
Okay.
talk. If anybody knows how Liverpool's set up, because I've heard this on forums before. Oh, Firmino doesn't score enough goals and all that rubbish. That's your team. Don't worry about.
I didn't say score goals. I didn't say score
you.
goals.
I didn't
It's
say you.
poor
I said
performance.
forums.
Can I jump in there for a second?
Okay, yeah, go on then, Nana.
I think the new guy. What's your name, please?
Mark.
I think Mark has got a bit of a point there because if players are not performing,
Wow.
hang on. Yeah, hear me out.
I might like this United fan, you know. I might like this fan.
No, there's a nicer, but no.
You know what? I like
There's a nicer way
Wait,
to ask the man his name.
Listen,
There's
it's
a
Liverpool.
nicer way. You can't just go,
Right.
what's your name?
No, listen.
My guy.
It's Liverpool because I couldn't care less what they do. However, what Mark is saying is this: if a player is playing and not performing well,
Okay.
Change the system. Do something different. In terms of Liverpool players being tired, for example, it's not only about looking lethargic. It's about the mindset as well. Yes, they're creating chances, but sometimes you can see that what they used to do, say last season, the way they were thinking, the decisions they were making, they were a lot sharper. So maybe it's mental fatigue as well. That is also costing them in terms of the way they're playing. It's just one of the things out there. But what Mark is saying is true. If a player is not playing well, drop him. Bring somebody in who can do something.
Do you know how bad it is? Do you know how bad it is? When Firmino scored that goal, it's like he was celebrating like he won the World Cup, because he knew that his performances for the last games were so poor that when he scored that goal a few weeks ago, it's like he won the cup. And
Exactly.
now he's
So
regressing again.
new guy.
Competition is healthy.
Do you drop
Competition
Salah?
is healthy. If you drop him, he sits down. If Origi comes in and takes his chance, you'll be saying, "Oh, brilliant from Klopp."
All right, okay.
But if you send the same team out every 11,
No,
I'm sorry.
great stuff. But you know what?
Nana, for someone who doesn't care about Liverpool, you talk a lot about the actual topic at the moment. I'm asking the new guy.
Of course, I'll talk about
I'm
it.
asking the
All
new
right.
guy.
Talk about it.
Okay, so
I want your form to
do you
remain the
drop
same
Salah
as
as
it is
well?
right now.
Do you-
Play
do
all
you
the
drop
football,
Salah as
do all the
well?
work, and win.
Nana and
nothing.
Paul, you know what? You know what?
So,
It
no,
looks
to breathe.
like-
To breathe.
you know
That's a
what?
very good question. No, you got to let Paul get that question in. That's a very good question. Let him ask
Well,
that question. That's
Do
a
you
very
drop
good
yeah,
question.
Salah?
No,
Do
but
you
you
drop
know,
Salah as well?
Did you just hear what you just said?
but wait, hold on, wait,
Do you drop Salah as well?
guys, hold on,
But to be
please.
sensible,
So, breathe.
you're
Wait,
going to
Nana,
drop all
wait.
the
Let him
football
answer it,
on top.
please.
Nana, just be
We
Please
have
let him
people
answer
on
it.
the phone.
Go on, we'll come
Nana,
back.
Nana,
come back.
Paul,
Just be quiet.
guys, please, we have people in the background that are waiting. Thank you for the comments
Can you
coming
answer the
in.
question? Do you drop
Paul, we'll come
Salah
back to
as
you.
B,
We'll come.
you know what, B, you know what? I am adding you to the call.
I know you're hurting right now, Paul, but it's all right. We'll come back to it.
B, how you doing, sir? You good?
Oh, to Breeze, good evening.
Oh, Barry, sorry, Coach Barry.
It's me to Breeze.
Hey, B.
You good?
Barry,
Hey, what
Mr.
All right,
Independent.
okay.
Mr. Independent.
So,
So,
so literally, what's your thought about Liverpool's season thus far?
for me, I think Liverpool's done magnificent over the last couple of years. I've heard some good points. I think they look tired because he hasn't rotated that squad very much. And anybody knows anything about professional football, they're going to be tired. And one thing about Klopp does a lot of double sessions, high intensity double sessions. His squad's tired. And I don't think the squad is strong enough to retain the title this year.
Thank you.
That's just my
Strength
short
in depth.
opinion.
So, so Coach Barry, who
Yeah.
is your tip to win it, and why?
Well, I put a bet on at the beginning of the season, and it was Man City. I don't know why. I think this season it's the most open season we're going to have for a very long time, just due to the circumstances, the corona, no crowd, home. There's no real home advantage anymore, so it's very open between 5 or 6 teams.
Yeah.
It's a very open season. I can't put my finger on who's exactly
Can I come
going to
in?
win.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Coach, honestly, it's always a pleasure.
Right to Breeze, thank you.
And we have one more. PB, are you there? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds.
You going to tell me about?
Okay, you are not there. Let me just kind of thank everyone that's been chiming in within the chat. Wow. Okay.
Can I say something quickly as well? Because like I think somebody's mentioned it in the comments as well. Like when teams are successful, which is very true, the most successful other teams tend to study them and find a solution to them, an answer to them. And it's very true because last season and the season before, look at Man City when they won. Everybody was, parking the bus, trying to catch them on the counter. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. And for you to find the key to the lock of different teams, you cannot go with like 13, 14 strong. You need a whole proper squad to be able to open the doors to every team. And I don't think Liverpool have it at the moment. The same thing. And to get back to what Paul was saying in terms of are you going to drop the front three like Salah as well? That's just stupid. You can't drop the whole front three because it's a puzzle, isn't it? It's a jigsaw puzzle. So you shift it to find your best fit. So if Firmino is the number 10 who's not playing well, switch it around. Maybe bring Salah. Salah performs well on the wing. We all know that. But why don't you bring him in the number 10 role and see what he can do? Or somebody else. Push the things around and see how.
No. Before Paul even gets into
it's not working.
Ray,
Salah should be dropped. Answering your question, someone just asked me just to be dropped.
You know what, Mark? You know what, Mark? Ray. I know that you want to speak.
35%, but I will just.
No, that's fine.
No. But the thing that I was going to say before Mark responds to Paul, I think you've missed what Paul was trying to ask. The point he was making. Mark has said that Firmino is not playing well, so he should be dropped for Origi. But Salah hasn't been playing well.
Exactly.
So why is the focus not Salah being dropped also? Because
Exactly.
Salah has not been playing well for a good few games now.
Yeah,
and he's just been hanging around out there on the left, not contributing. And he's been under the radar.
I think my answer encompasses all what I said. I'm not saying drop all of them. That's just stupid. You can't do that. I'm saying that something is not working. For me, I see them.
No, but the point he's making is, who do you drop? Everyone's jumping on Firmino. Everyone's jumping on Firmino. Why are you not jumping on Salah?
Listen, I'm saying you can drop one. Look at the way United play. Sometimes you find Rashford up top. Sometimes you find him on the wing.
We play completely different football.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Something's not working.
No. This is a Liverpool argument. I don't know why you're so in it. This is a Liverpool argument.
So far I'm concerned.
Argue.
I'm sorry he's gone.
Point to the Liverpool man. You got to let
stick to what you're doing.
But
Ray, so far as I'm concerned, Liverpool can stick to what you're doing. But for this argument's sake, I'm saying if something's not working, change it. It's that simple. Because the last 10 games, we've seen Liverpool. Yeah, they're creating chances, but it's not working. Teams are putting the banks of 5-4, 5-4-1 in front of them. Sometimes the defense is 6. You know, they try to pull them out wide. They don't go. The fullbacks don't go wide anymore for the opposing teams. They tap in.
So let me ask you a question, Nana. So let me ask you a question. So Nana, so you're saying they should change the way they play now, for the sake. They should change the way they play. What's been successful in the last year.
I'm not saying change the way they play because they're creating chances.
So what are you going to change then? All right. So let's say, okay. So you're saying change the personnel. So you're saying change Firmino, Salah, and bring in Origi.
For me, no, I didn't say that. Mark said that. For me,
I'm just asking you. I'm asking you.
I would, even if you're playing with the same personnel, I would change. I can bring Salah into the middle.
What are you talking about?
All right, okay. You know what?
So wait, I can bring Salah behind the
No. Let me jump in.
Hold on.
Put Origi at top.
Let me jump in.
So, guys, hold on, wait there, hold on. You know what? We have crazy amounts of comments. Let me kind of get to the comments. Tyrone Roberts said Origi is crap.
Thank you.
And literally,
don't disrespect him. Don't disrespect Origi.
Like,
hey,
London South Vets channel. When teams are successful, other teams study them and work out how to beat or stifle them, and it happens. And a few teams have done this to Liverpool, and the same thing happened to City last year. Let's go to Heckman Security. Firmino is thriving right now, but Origi is not
thriving, mate.
That's why
how can you say that? And the guy's only had 18 or 20 minutes this season. That's not fair.
No, hold on, guys. Yeah, guys, hold on.
They haven't even given the guy a full game.
Guys, hold on, please. Please, guys, hold on.
Crazy.
Read the comments properly. Guys, the former comment you didn't read it properly. It says Firmino is thieving, not thriving.
Okay, apologies. Thieving, sorry.
Wow.
Thieving. Okay. Logi TV, once Jota's back, they will start performing better. That's 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 a fair point. And the same person said Liverpool's best game was against Palace. Yeah, which is true. And I don't think Liverpool have won a Premiership game since the Palace game. Dan Eastman, Salah is still more of a threat than Firmino.
Thank you. Put him in the middle there. So
I want to include Emeka onto this call. Hi, Emeka. Hope you are well. So what is your opinion about this title? Will Liverpool retain this Premiership title?
Yeah, for me, Liverpool are still favourites. I feel like, I know I've heard some things about kind of changing the system and things like that, but I think that's what's made them so successful. And I think Liverpool is just a system, and regardless of who the personnel is, doesn't really matter. Like, their press is the best in the Premier League. They just send so many bodies forward, and even if you take the ball from them, within a few seconds they won it back and they're back at you again. And bar the Aston Villa game, I think they battered everyone that they played. It might be controversial.
Oh boy.
I feel like Liverpool's front three, they're not clinical, and I don't feel they ever have been. But the team is set up to give people like Salah and Mane a lot of chances, and it's just that they're not in good form at the moment. It's nothing to do with the way that they're actually playing. So yeah, I feel like moving forward, as soon as the chances start going in, yeah, the issue is when you're not making chances in football matches, and they're making plenty, so I think they'll be fine.
Okay. And again, could you give me your top four and also in the order?
Liverpool first,
Mm-hmm.
Man City second, Leicester third.
You are smoking.
Tottenham fourth.
Wow.
Yo, bro, I like your enthusiasm, man.
And I'm an Arsenal fan as well, so yeah.
This guy's high.
Goodness.
I swear down.
Yeah, man, enough respect for that.
Yeah, thank you. Emeka, please stay on. We will get back to you later on. Thank you.
Can I land with this though?
Okay.
I think if you don't want Liverpool to do well, them being knocked out of the FA Cup does increase their chances of performing better in the Premier League.
That wasn't a plan today. We had a full squad today.
I know. But you know how it is. Sometimes those things work out to the better. But I'm just saying. Yeah,
well, you know what? We will literally get onto that topic later on. But again, this is like a question to, let's say, to like Paul. Henderson, has probably been our kind of linchpin for like the past couple of seasons, and now he's playing at centre back. Don't you think Klopp has got that wrong? Like, shouldn't Henderson be literally our kind of engine in the centre of midfield? Why is Klopp playing him at centre back?
Why is Klopp? Hold on. Why is Klopp?
Why do you think Klopp is playing Henderson, who arguably is our best midfielder? For me personally, why is he playing him at centre back?
Because he trusts him. Simple. And he thinks he's hoping he can do a job until we get the injuries back.
This is the Premier League, bro. Like, listen, your best shield is one of the best players to give your defense a shield is Henderson. And you're playing at centre back.
And why is the reason he's playing at centre back, Nana? We have injuries.
Yes, I don't care about injuries. Somebody said even in the comments, when in January.
How do you not care about injuries?
No.
Exactly.
Hear me out.
That was the Indian statement. I know you. That's not what you meant.
Let him land. Guys, let him land, please. Let him land. Go on, Nana.
Listen, Klopp knew that VVD was going to be out for the season when the transfer window opened. He knew. He still hasn't gotten anyone. I've said before that this squad doesn't have the strength in depth. And your best player, one of your best players, is injured.
I think one second. You've got to take everything. I think when we talk about football, there's three things that we need to think about in terms of our motion, what it actually is, and then just talking reckless. Our centre backs have been they're injury prone. So you got Matip, you got Gomez, you've got Van Dijk, who was assaulted, or he was GBH'd on the pitch earlier this season. So in terms of even our backup players have been affected by this. Now, should Klopp play Henderson at the back? No, I don't think he should play him at the back.
Yep.
It's like I don't think he should play Fabinho at the back, but that's what we've got now, and that's what we've got to deal with. The problem with Klopp is that he doesn't want to vary from the Mo Salah, the trusted lot in the team, even if those trusted lot are not playing or performing. And that's the thing I think that's going to affect Klopp going forward. He needs to be more agile.
Can I ask a question?
But
Can I
Matt,
ask a question,
don't
quick?
you
Can I
think-
ask a question?
Hold on,
No, you've got a lot to say.
Ray,
Can I ask
Ray,
a question?
go on in. Yep, go on, Ray.
Could it be that the other players just aren't good enough? You want him to change them, but Origi is not a replacement for Fabinho. He's
Listen,
not a replacement for Salah.
No.
It's not good enough.
Yeah, no, but look, I think people people are going over the top with this. When Origi banged in those goals couple seasons back, and he was performing, scoring goals and being that crucial player for us, like the Jota.
He was good from the bench. No, let's not get carried away. He was good from the bench. Origi was not a starter. He was not one of your main linchpins. He came on. See, you don't get confused. You don't get confused. Some players are good from the bench. You start them, and they're not the same. They don't have the same effectiveness. I remember it's like wait, no. Let me finish, because I've had this argument in our group. I'm a big Solskjaer fan, and I believe he's one of the Premiership's top forwards. But he wasn't good when you started him. When you bring him from the bench, he was a killer. But you bring him on, you start him, he wasn't the same player. Origi is not a viable replacement for any of that front three long term. He comes off the bench and does well. But to say drop Salah and bring in Origi, the Liverpool fans would be looking to have Klopp's head. Origi is not a replacement for him. We're getting carried away into it.
That's what I said, Ray. This guy's not a Liverpool supporter. And Nana, I don't understand what you're talking about. Put Salah in the middle. You do understand Salah's 1 foot. He's 1-footed.
This guy's got shares. I think this guy's got shares. I think this guy's.
Are you saying Salah is that rubbish?
No. He's good at what he does on the wing. He could never play in the middle of that three.
Did he not play the similar positions when Mourinho had him at Chelsea?
And look what happened, Nana. He got sold. He got him out of there.
What I'm saying is this. He did play that position in Chelsea. There were games he did well. There were games he was absolutely right. Something is not working, and I think the main issue for me is in football, shit happens. It could have been United in terms of if Bruno Fernandes gets injured right now, I think we will be in trouble. If Rashford gets injured right now, I think we'll be in trouble. However, I think that the people who can back him up when these two are injured can do. I would take Mason Greenwood over Origi any day, which tells me that we have strength in depth more than Liverpool do, even though they're playing a better football. So if Klopp knew that this guy was going to be out for the rest of the season, buy someone. Find it.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. No, wait. You know, we have comments. Sorry, guys. We have comments. So, Mecca, don't let Nana run. Don't let Nana run a football club. Okay, all right. Okay. Tyrone Brooks, why are we talking about centre backs when that hasn't been the issue? We just ain't scoring. Mm-hmm. And Dan Eastman says goals win games. Mm-hmm. And Heckman secure. And literally
idea what Nana is talking about, and I don't think he understands what he's.
No, but I want to get into him on that point.
Okay.
I want to get into him on. You see this whole thing of just buying someone. Nana, this isn't FIFA. You got to understand. No, because you think it's something that you can just go out and buy anyone you want. If you're a team, stop. If you're a team, you're looking to buy a player of a certain standard. Those teams that their players are at are still active in their leagues. They're still active in their cups. They're not selling them. Buying them at January is difficult. You're not gonna. You might get lucky and pick up a gem every now and then, but Klopp can't just go to. He can't just go out there and buy someone and say, right, I'm gonna buy him and put him in because you can't just do that. It's not that easy.
January. Some of the best signings have been January signings.
All right, hold on.
Just now, I'm saying that so far as I'm concerned, Liverpool is doing what they're doing right now.
He's been drinking that blue drink again. He's been drinking that.
Jamal. So, again, a lot of people have been, talking about like the centre back issue, and also possibly even like the, like the midfield issue. What do you think Thiago has now, contributed to that Liverpool season thus far? Has Thiago been the signing that Liverpool needed?
No, of course not. I don't think he has, but there's still time. I think it's a bit unfair to call him a flop. I know Thiago's been one of these high-profile, highly rated players for so long, well, for a couple of seasons now, and he's kind of expected to come in and at least make a difference. There's still time, but yeah, it doesn't seem like it's working. That's from my sort of eye test. And in regards to the sort of Ray and Nana debate, I kind of side with Ray on that one, but I do see where Nana's coming from. I know you could go out and buy whoever people think is an elite centre half right now, Varane or Koulibaly or whoever, but it would have been nice. I think Nana's point should have been towards Ray. Like, it would have been nice if they purchased someone, because quality is crucial, but sometimes when you have an injury crisis, you just need to have a body, literally.
No, Jamal.
You don't think so? So listen,
Jamal.
I'm just saying, if you're saying it isn't that, Paul, then fine. I'm just saying it's looking pretty bad because you're having to play people out of position, and playing out of position is cool, but at the elite level, it's difficult. And
Jamal,
interesting.
Look where we are. Okay,
yeah.
VVD had his injury, right?
Yeah,
and he's patched and he's moved, and we're still there or thereabouts.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So what he's for is working at the moment. The only problem is Liverpool are not scoring goals.
Okay, so a question for you, Paul. Question for you, Paul.
Because Nana's talking complete.
No, but Ray,
rubbish.
If you are happy, if Klopp is happy,
hold on, wait, guys, hold on.
No, why does he not play forwards out of position if it's not working? That's the question for you.
That is not going to happen.
That's the question for all Liverpool fans. If Klopp is meant to play his best midfielders in a defensive position, out of position, why is he then not playing his forwards out of position?
One sec.
Nana, are you a Liverpool supporter, Nana?
I know. I'm talking football, mate. Listen,
you're talking rubbish.
I'm talking football. It looks like you don't know what you're talking about your own team.
I think Ray's upset. I think Ray's
You're talking rubbish.
Can you answer the question, though?
Guys, hold on. Wait.
Right?
No, hold on.
Your midfield is out of position for the defense. If you are playing them out of position at the back and the midfield, why do you not then, if the ball is not working,
I'm going to give you 3 seconds before I mute you.
Maybe that will work.
This is dead.
That's why I like Mourinho, because he would drop whoever, change it for something to work. Sometimes the players, if you bench them, they fix up. It's that simple.
So, Mark, I would love to get your top 4. Who like do you think in that order are like gonna get the top 4?
So I reckon Man City. Man City are looking stronger game by game. I think that they will achieve the league this season. I think in second place, and I hate to say this, is probably Man United. By the looks of things, I think you get Liverpool in third and Leicester. I think I just can't see Liverpool doing any better at this current stage. And just to pick up on the point briefly, 5 seconds. When Van Dijk and Gomez, our 2 centre-backs, got injured, you know, we used to push. We used to, like, those wingers used to fly up. Everything used to just fly for Liverpool. And I think that teams have cottoned on very quickly that, you know, we don't push up as we used to. We take a long time now to push up to get into that to opposition's end. And I think also those are the things that are affecting. And I think that Klopp hasn't addressed that. He's still trying to carry on this high intensity system, and it's affecting the whole team. Look at even our midfield. Our midfield can't even function, and one person that can't function at midfield is Naby, our most expensive midfielder. Can't cope. So these are the things that I just think that Klopp is not addressing, because obviously he's just trying to, you know, go with the status quo.
And the so-called Liverpool fan, the reason why the wing backs aren't pushing forward is because they've got no confidence there. They haven't got the
protection.
They haven't got the shield, and they haven't got proper centre back. So you don't push forward when you're a fullback if you're not confident. Just like goalkeepers, if you've got a goalkeeper who's not good at crosses, it causes problems in your back four because you don't know if he's going to come, if he's not going to come, whatever. That's the reason why. It's got nothing to do with the way we play. It's because of the personnel. Even if one of them was there, Gomez, Robertson and Trent pushing forward, because they are proper centre
Yeah, but your personnel affects the way you play, though, doesn't it?
Proper centre backs. That's the reason why.
That's your personnel not affect the way you play, Paul.
The reason, you see, the thing is with Nana and that,
it's a simple question, Paul.
We armchair supporters. You don't know what Klopp sees every day in training.
What does he see?
You don't know. Okay?
Do you see that?
You don't know. No, because I'm not going against you, Nana. I understand football. You think that you don't. Henderson to do a
Rubbish.
And for
Can I ask Paul a question, please?
Simple.
Yeah,
Can I
go
ask Paul a
on then.
question?
Jamal. Yep.
So Paul, I just want to touch back on something you said. And it's good to ask, because obviously we'll get honest answer. So if you're part of the coaching staff or on the Liverpool board, you're telling me you wouldn't either sign off on allocating £20 million in January to purchase. You obviously you won't get a first class defender, but you wouldn't purchase a centre back, because in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, Van Dijk's the only one who's actually like injured. Gomez and Matip are injury prone. Like, there's no guarantee. Like, Van Dijk gives you that feeling, right? If he recovers from this, he could probably make a full recovery. Whereas Joe, he's like, wouldn't you feel comfortable on having another?
Okay, let me
decent
answer you,
centre back
Jamal.
there?
I don't need you to give me the whole book question. I can answer you quicker than that. COVID, okay? No one is going out and buying big players because we haven't got the resources to do it, okay? So no one is doing that. Klopp was never, ever going to buy a ready-made A+ centre-back in January. Never going to do it. He's never done it in his career as a manager. He's never going to do it now, okay? He's got backing. What he did.
That's not what we're saying, though.
Can you let me finish? What he did last season, he knows he's not going to get sacked this season, okay? He's trying to hold and patch together. Van Dijk is ahead of his recovery, so he will play this season. So again, Nana's just sprouting, talking rubbish. He will play again this season because he's ahead of his train. He's ahead of his recovery, okay? Gomez may be back before that as well, okay? So he's trying to hold in without. In the summer, he will buy A+ centre-back. But no one buys that, because as Ray says, and Ray is a Man United supporter, but he's the only one talking sense. You don't find a gem in January. You don't, because they're all playing in Champions League. Okay, so you're not going to get.
Can I respond to that?
No, hold on. You know, thank you.
They
Let
know
me
you're
kind of.
desperate, so they're going to put another 25 billion on top. No one's got the money in this season during COVID. Okay, no one's got it.
Let me kind of go to the comments. Heckburn Security, I'll put £500 for Nana and Paul to have a charity boxing game. You know what? I will definitely match you as well. Emeka, please name a 20 million defender that you could buy in January.
Thank you.
Please let Jamal answer that, please. Fabrice, let Jamal answer that because I wanted to hear that. I was desperate to hear this because I'll get on the phone to Ollie right now. Come on, Jamal. £20 million centre back. Come on.
You've talked about Jamal.
Just,
you know,
that's what Jamal said.
name.
Jamal, just like one name, because like we've got crazy amounts of comments that I want to try and get through.
No, I haven't thought about that deep. I was
the tumbleweeds. The tumbleweeds.
I'm being honest.
Next, okay.
The tumbleweed graphic next week. We need a tumbleweed graphic next week.
All right. Next comment. Liverpool are a huge club, and if they want to sign any player, they will.
Move on.
Regardless of COVID.
Move on. Nonsense. Move on. Nonsense.
COVID isn't stopping any kind of big teams
Move
buying
on.
what they need.
Nonsense. No, it's not a point. It's not a point.
One voice.
Hold on.
So please carry on.
Do you realize how much money these football clubs are losing every single week with no fans in the stadium? Do you realize this? You're saying no. You're saying the COVID isn't stopping any big teams buying what they want. Money that was allocated to their transfer fund is now going to pay wages, where stadium receipts would have been doing that. Do you realize this? They're taking out loans to try and survive. And you think they've got 90 million to spend?
The big clubs?
It's
anything.
You don't understand.
United want to buy a player.
Nana. You're making yourself.
Okay, so let me. So
if United want to buy a player, we will buy a player.
So let me kind of go back to the comments. Nana, let me go back to the comments. JL14, this is probably Nana 5-1, Paul 10-2. I think he's taking a bet. And Lord GTV has said, look at Chelsea. But again, you know what? Hey, you know what? We will kind of definitely talk about that. Ray, as a United fan, United are top of the league. And let's be real. Ollie's job was, I'm actually surprised that he's still in that position. What has changed? What has changed? In the last 7 weeks for United.
We started scoring goals and we stopped conceding silly mistakes. At the moment, our backline is keeping a decent shape, and we're not. The silly goals that we were conceding, we're not, and we're scoring goals. We're actually hard to beat at the moment. We're hard to beat.
So, would you say that you guys are in a good shout of to actually win it?
No, I don't think we'll win it. We're in the shake-up, but I don't think we'll win it.
Okay, fair enough. I have two people. I've got Coach Barry that is still here. Coach Barry, you've literally been hearing everything that's been said. I mean, what's your two cents?
Fabrice, you need to get more control.
You know what? Fair enough. You
need to get more control. Is it you're hosting the show? Get control. There's people are running out all sorts of comments I don't even understand on the show.
Fair enough. So like guys, you've heard it from Coach Barry. If people are talking over each other, no one can hear.
Yes, true.
So
what's your question, Fabrice? What's your question?
So with literally all of the comments that you've heard so far, I mean, again, are we kind of talking about like a dark horse, like in terms of Leicester City? Are we kind of talking about United actually picking up more momentum? I mean, what is it?
Did you see did everybody see the interview with Fernandes today? What he said?
Yeah.
He said the difference at United is that the changing room has changed, and that they're much more confident. They believe they can win games. There's no more animosity in the changing room. He says when they're not winning, everybody's like, come on, and their heads are down. So the whole atmosphere at the club has changed. So that's a big point that he made today. With Liverpool, I think everybody's going way over the top with Liverpool are right in the race to me. It's just that part of their spine. Why panic? If you know agents and anything, you do not buy in January. If you buy in January, you're going to pay double the money. You're going to pay double the wages. Ask an agent. Agents love doing deals in January because they get double the money. And most clubs now, like someone said, it's The thing we've got, there's no real income coming in for clubs except commercial. So you're not going to spend that money what you've got. Klopp knows what he's doing. He's been there before. He's been in this issue. I believe Klopp's the top manager. I still believe Liverpool are right in the race. They're playing well and they're scoring goals. Someone said to drop Salah. Who drops their top striker? Salah's got 18 goals. Why would you drop Salah? With 18 goals.
May I ask Barry a question, please?
Yeah,
so do you think, I understand what Paul and Ray and everyone's saying in regards to buying in January. Definitely agree with that. And you have to add in the COVID situation, which is obviously very serious. Do you think Jurgen Klopp didn't inquire about purchasing a centre back at all for January?
Jamal, Liverpool would have scattered the whole world to try and see if there was someone good enough. Remember, the top clubs scattered the whole world. And if there's something they thought were value for money, they would have gone out and done that. So now they're relying on their squad because they don't think someone's value for money. Are you going to spend 100 million for Kabak? He's nearly 30 years old.
No, listen, I felt the same way, but I said that to Paul and I got shot down. So I'm just saying, I think Jurgen looked around. There was nothing there. Like say, I threw £20 million out there, and then you're thinking, you can't get anyone decent. You actually just better off waiting for them to recover from injury first. Barry, I don't believe Jurgen didn't even look into buying a centre back. I think he tried, didn't see any decent value for money.
They would have definitely had the look. Would have definitely been looking around.
So I want to kind of go into the comments.
Can I ask Barry a quick question, please?
Tyrone said, can we swap Barry for Nana?
Yeah. Barry, can I ask you a quick question?
Paul?
Yeah. Me and Ray probably the only sensible ones on the panel.
You're such an idiot.
We said about COVID being a major problem in the season with lack of funds, and we were laughed down by the person screen next to Tabrice's Nana. Can you please,
and comments?
Yeah, can you please just explain to them what COVID has done to football this season about with money and spending big money?
Well, it's gone right down. I spoke to some clubs the other day, and even buying players, even at younger players, they're even they're thinking of bringing in more players from grassroots into professional clubs straight in. We've got boys going from grassroots, age 20, 21, coming straight in because there's no money. You've got to also remember Brexit. Brexit's a big point now where they can't just bring in young players and players into their squad. So the whole shape of football is going to change. The whole shape of football will be changing. It'll be based mainly on British quality players. Even from the lower levels will be coming into clubs. We've been speaking to clubs all this week, and most of the clubs, that's what they're talking about. And the main thing they said also, which is exciting, they want young boys who played at men's football at that level. You know the step, Jamal, like step 7, step 8, young players from there, because they're having very young players going in. Clubs are taking like top academy players into clubs, and they can't do it because they've never played men's football. All they've done is played academy football, so they want players who have played in the senior level, semi-pro level, to go into clubs. There's no money about.
Thank you, Barry.
It's not a laughing thing. Football is definitely going to change for now. It's definitely changing. But
can I ask a question though?
Yeah.
I know COVID has affected football and all that. Like, do you believe Liverpool have the strength and depth from last season to carry on doing what they were doing 2 seasons ago? Do you believe they have the strength and depth? Because now that the only 2 centre backs are injured, there's a lot of problems happening in the club. Do you believe that they had enough cover to deal with this?
To win I've been watching their games, and nearly every game they've played, they've had a chance to win it. They've had a chance to win the game.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do they have enough strength and depth
to win it? I believe there's about 5 teams. Me personally think there's 4 or 5 teams that could win the season, the league this year, and Liverpool are one of them. I haven't condemned Liverpool. Liverpool is still highly in my reckoning. If you can name teams that are way better than Liverpool, please tell me.
No, I get that. I'm just asking in terms of the squad that teams have.
The squad, it's just that they've got some serious injuries, and the worst place on injuries is through your spine. Centre backs, centre forward, centre midfield, and your forward. The question with Henderson played great at the back the other day.
Yes.
You find very good holding midfielders make great centre backs.
Yep.
So Klopp can only do what he's got there. And why would Liverpool sign a player what they don't think is good enough or should play? So every player in Liverpool squad should get a chance to play. And someone made up about Origi. I think some people have been very hard on Origi because, like you said, Origi's hardly had any minutes. So you are being hard on Origi. Give the squad the time to play.
Not me. Yeah, not me. But a player like Tyrone Mings, could he have fit as a replacement for
You know what, Nana? I've literally got a hold of you there.
Wait, Reece, can I just say one thing quickly? No, I need. No, I want to. I didn't ask you anything. I tell you what's going to happen. Wait, no, I tell you what's going to happen. Hold on, Nana. Hold on. So, Reece, let me just say this. If Liverpool go to Aston Villa and ask for Tyrone Mings, Aston Villa will ask for 80 million because they know that they're desperate, and Tyrone Mings is not worth that money. So that's dead. That's dead.
Okay. Okay, wait, Nana, hold on, guys, hold on, please. Coach Barry, honestly, thank you. And again, you know what? Again, thank you for your knowledge and thank you. Emeka's been here as well. Emeka, so what have you thought about the conversation thus far?
Same, similar to Barry, to be fair. It's just you can't really buy any players in January. It's not the time to do it. As I just said, people is gonna overinflate prices, and the issue is that for me that's the best centre half in the world. I would say Gomez is one of the top 2 English centre halves in the world. So when you know that they're coming back, why are you going to buy someone who's going to have an overinflated price, and then when they do come back, you're going to have another player you've just bought and taken from another club, expecting minutes? Is like, why have that headache? I feel like Liverpool's like the kind of club that, they've got this community there and they're in a good space. And yeah, I don't think they haven't been playing badly at all. And it's one of those things that a few weeks ago, everyone was telling me Tottenham are going to win the league. Now they're quiet. Then it was Chelsea going to win. Now it's in the position where, all right, United.
Oh, boy.
Look, by the end of February, United fans are going to be quiet, and then it will be another team. I think people need to be less fickle in football and understand that.
Arsenal fans are going to be quiet forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it's not a thing because when Arsenal won 4 games in a row, Arsenal fans are, we're going to make top 4. It's like, no, just take it easy. Watch games for what they are, and if you're watching games to actually analyze each game as it is. I think that Liverpool have only been outplayed once this season. Even today, they probably should have won the game. Cool. 10% half makes a mistake and they lose, and that's the way it is.
Thank you so much, Emeka. Thank you so much. And again, let me go to the comment quickly. Tyrone Roberts is banging on about Barry. Nana, well, listen, I'm not going to get involved in that.
Shut up, please. Why are you skipping the other comments and reading only the Liverpool ones?
Well, you know what? Whatever's in the comments, I have to read, Nana. Please.
Yeah, read everything. You're jumping on comments and reading the other ones. Why?
Money, London, South United. Money's low. Deals are definitely happening.
I'm full of shit to read.
Wow.
I've been seeing the comments and I've been seeing He's choosing them and reading what he wants.
Wait, hold on, please. Nana, relax. Nana, relax, please. Hold on. Also, Matt Berry's kind of also a problem with transfers now. The EU's ruling comes into play. So literally, that's kind of one of those things.
Deals are happening regardless of EU or what. There's loan deals happening. The deals are still happening regardless of COVID. So I don't know. I don't understand what this is coming. He always gets found out thingy coming back, isn't it?
Tabrice, can I ask Nana a question?
Go ahead.
You know what? No.
I just want to ask a question.
Because you know what? We are going on to the next topic. Thank you for everyone.
Tyrone Mings subject. I'll touch on Tyrone Mings.
You know what? I am going on to the next subject. Thank you for everyone that's been coming in. Please also keep ringing in and keep putting your. Nana, you know what? I know what. You know what? I know I'm out of order.
You're victimizing me.
But like, you know what?
Ask my question.
I'm moving on to the next question. And
The
again,
man said to put Tyrone Mings as a replacement for VVD, and you want me to touch on that.
you know what? Let's talk about today's game.
Tyrone Mings.
Thank you, Ray.
You know what?
Because I know if I'm Trent or Robinson, I'm not making the same runs when I know I got Tyrone Mings behind me.
Hold on, wait.
You have this out, you have this channel, please. Can you read some of them, please?
Wait, hold on.
Because you're not ready to single one. You're picking a
We are now talking about the United Liverpool game.
Sure, that's much.
Okay. Man United 3, Liverpool 2. The scores for Liverpool, Salah twice, and the scores for United, Greenwood, Rashford, and Fernandez. Nana.
Don't call my name. Go somewhere else.
Nana.
I'll take the question, Tabrice. I'll take the question.
All right, Ray.
Wow.
Was this a statement from United, not only to Liverpool, but also to the rest of the teams in this FA Cup that they mean business?
No, it was one game. It's one game. We won it. We move on to the next round of the cup. End of. Move on. It's a good game, but move on.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Okay.
We're taking one game at a time. That's all it is.
All right.
You got to remember, Man United is still in the process of building. None of us expected to be here at this point, at this stage of the season in the job. And at the end of the day, yes, we're here and we're going to make as much trouble as we can at this point. If we're around this position come April, then we can start talking about statements. This is just the FA Cup. We beat them, we move on.
Mark, I mean, again, you kind of spoke about Reece Williams, and he actually got exposed like a couple of times. I mean, how well do you think he played? And overall, I mean, was it a fair result?
So I was taking down a few notes as the game was proceeding. I think in the first quarter of the match, we looked very sharp. The link-up play between the front three and also Thiago, he was playing like he was in the park at one stage in terms of his passes. But in terms of the goal, I don't know what's wrong with Trent at this current time. I don't know if he's dipped in performance or something's happening mentally to him. He's not on his full game. He might be coming back from an injury or, just the pressure of trying to perform at a very high level. But his kind of lapsy performance today, and also Reece is very slow. And I don't know whether, over time, we kind of help Reece to pick up the pace or to understand the game a bit more. You might need to drop off if you're not that fast. But in terms of this high line football, it doesn't really work well for Reece. And I think he was exposed today, and he's been exposed before. But he's only young. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. I think he learns very quickly, and I just hope that this experience today, he takes it under his belt and he moves forward with it.
Yeah. And Jamal, I mean, Mark eloquently spoke about Trent's form. He is still a youngster, but he's been playing for Liverpool, consistently now for the past 2 years. Is it something that Liverpool fans should be worried about?
Not yet. No, not yet. I think you might have an eye on it, but not yet. I just think, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, if you're a Liverpool fan, you have to be pretty satisfied. It's been a good few seasons. You You got rid of Brendan Rodgers, who's clearly a good manager. You brought in an even higher profile manager, and it's actually worked. So many people have made similar, Man United have made similar adjustments, and it hasn't worked. So Liverpool have to be overall. Yeah, it's a difficult part of the season. Some players are underperforming. There are injuries, and COVID pressure. I get all of that, but overall, Liverpool fans have to be satisfied. I just don't think they have a lot to really complain about. And yeah, some of the players like Trent's a fantastic footballer, and there's always going to be some downs. It's not always going to be ups in your career. But yeah, you might have an eye on it, but they shouldn't be worried.
And like Paul, I mean, again, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Is being knocked out of the FA Cup going to be a good thing for Liverpool's I'd say challenge to actually retain this Premiership title? Because again, what would you rather win?
Well, I mean, you say that as if you've never played football, Fabrice.
No, but I'm asking you a question though, Paul.
Your bread and butter is the league. Everything else is a bonus. Okay, so the league is the most important thing. Okay, and when you said if we got knocked out today, is that going to be? You will only know at the end of the season. It could be a good thing. Or we might fall off still. It might be a bad thing. We only know at the end of the season. As Ray said, not a big deal. One game. It's too many points to play for the end of the season. It was a cup game. I don't know what everybody's, putting too much meat on this bone. It's a cup game. There's plenty more football to play in the league. Everybody's inconsistent. Plenty more points to win.
But listen, Paul, I want to kind of bat it back to you. I mean, let's be real. Apart from the Aston Villa game, which was the FA Cup, I believe, and again, Aston Villa played their kids. We've not won in, for the past 5 or 6 games, and I think that the last game was against Palace. And I can see that you are trying to be optimistic about certain things, but you must be worried. Like you can't be saying there's more points, to actually win, because right now, today we scored 2 goals. That's the first time in how many games? So you must be worried. Like you can't just keep saying there's more points.
Why must I be worried? The first thing we say, me and Ray, if the forwards are getting...
Why are you always calling Ray's names? Why don't you just
stop talking, because you made yourself look a fool for the first
half. What's this asking for?
You really made yourself look a fool for the first half. Let me talk.
What? Wait, what are you asking for? Hold on, man.
What I'm saying is, okay, what we say, me and Ray, if the forwards are getting chances...
There you go.
If the forwards are getting chances, then... there's nothing wrong. It's when you worry, when you're not getting chances. That's when you got to start worrying. Liverpool are still producing chances. Losing by not getting spanked. We got spanked one. Not getting spanked. Not getting outplayed. Everyone's making too much. I think you've brought this topic on. You put too much meat on the bone, Fabrice. There's too much to play for. You know what I mean? Maybe three months from now, you should have brought this topic. But not now.
Again, before I go on to Nana, this is a topic that people are talking about. Liverpool are right now at the top of the hill, and any blip, people are gonna literally go at Liverpool. So any time this happens, and again, let's be real, it happened to United when but
that's people who don't understand football are going at them. People who don't understand football are going at them, and they're the ones getting all excited. If you look at the beginning of the season, when Man United hadn't won for 3 games in a row, everyone was like, Ollie out, Ollie out. He was 1 game from the sack, supposedly, at Everton. Now we're top of the table, and everyone's saying, oh, yes, he's the right man. People who don't understand, they make knee-jerk reactions and get all excited. It's like me sitting on here saying Man United to win the league, to win the Champions League. It's just nonsense. You just got to relax and take a breath.
Okay. And Nana, as a centre back, I mean, how
You see, this is why when I insult this twat,
centre back.
You don't allow me to. You're saying I'm rude, but when I insult this twat,
wow,
he's been number 2 in the club for how long? And I've been his centre back, and I've helped him win the bloody league and the Beckenham Cup. So you can shut the hell up And when somebody's calling me a centre back,
Nana, why are you biting? Why are you biting on these things? Nana, why
He's a
are you
very
biting?
angry man.
Why are
Hold
you
on, wait.
biting?
Hold on.
He's a very
Wait.
angry
Why are
man.
you biting on this?
Nah, he's a hypocrite.
It's a
Tabriz,
simple
you got to
thing.
mute him. You got to
For
mute
him,
him.
Nana.
for him, where he sits. Without me, he's not. Without
Nana, you
talking,
know what? Nana, you know what? I was just gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nana, listen, I'm trying to ask you a question. And you know what, again, you know what?
Go on, please.
So, as a centre back, how well do you think United's back four, stroke back five played?
I think they played well. I think they played pretty well. They are not making the second goal. I think was a mistake because you're trying to play the ball from the back, and when you do that, sometimes mistakes happen. But we are not making those mistakes as frequently as we did for the beginning of the season. We are more compact now. Shaw is playing out of his skin at the moment. The pairing of Maguire and Lindelof is paying off. Even when Eric Bailly comes in, you can see that it's still a very good understanding. So, and the shield that they have as well in front of them have also been doing extremely well. Scott is playing really well. Fred is playing. And what I love at the moment is that when Fred gets the ball now, his first thought is actually going forward, which is different to what we've seen, over the past few years. So now the manager has a lot of faith and trust in him, and it's evident in terms of, where we want to go.
And this is going to be an open question. So let's talk about, and we
didn't hear from Mark or Jamal.
Well, hold on, wait, yeah, no,
I didn't get my say, so hey,
we actually did.
It is what it is.
You did.
Wow.
Again, this is.
Did I, Ray? Did I say anything about Toffel? Who's gonna win? Did I give you anything?
You said that from before. You said that before.
The top four. Did I name top four?
You said that. No, why are you coming at me? Why are you coming at me?
I see.
No, because Tabriz asked the question and he asked me and Paul, and he didn't go to Mark. He didn't. I'm just saying.
Ray is trying to mind his business, eat his peanuts, and you're taking it out on Ray. Why?
You know what, Nana, man, relax, please, man. Relax, man, please.
It's been passed over there. Pissing me off.
All right. So, like, guys, you know what? Let's be real. I want to talk about the influence that Fernandes has literally had on this United team. His goal was exquisite. I don't care what people say. And that hurts me as a Liverpool fan. Again, I just kind of want people's opinion about him. I mean, what has he brought? And literally, let's kind of take away the goals and she assists away from that. What else has he brought to this United team? Because again, let's be real. The moment United bought him, that was literally when things changed. And this is an open forum, so please talk.
Well, I think he's been a really good signing. I don't know if anyone will be either as brave or as stupid as me to say I didn't know too much about Bruno before he signed for Manchester United, So now that he's come in, I feel as if Manchester United haven't had a player for a little while. Just someone so creative. The first person, Chris, the head is all looking for the next opponent. It's just, I actually enjoy watching him play. And I'm a neutral. I don't really care about that club at all. But it's just he's just a really good footballer.
No, well, I would agree with that. Fernandes he's brought an attitude to Man United. He came in from the moment he stepped through the door. He was he took control, and he did what for me I expected Pogba to do when he first joined, and that's take control of the team and actually start making decisions. He's brave. He's got the ability to try things, and he hasn't let the fact that he's at Man United scare him. And that, to me, is one of the main things he's done. He's now become our talisman, where we look to him to do things like tonight. The team would look to him for that. And Man United haven't had a player like that for a while who's been able to step up when we've needed it. So, yeah, Pogba now as well. Before anyone says I'm having to dig up Pogba, Pogba's now playing the way I wanted him to play from the moment he got there.
Why do you think it's like that?
Huh?
Why do you think this is so?
Because I think Pogba's now he's realised that at the end of the day, a lot of where people were attacking him was where he just didn't look like he could be asked. He looked like I believe he felt the team wasn't good enough. He may still feel the team's not good enough, but where the mentality behind the team has changed, he looks like he's now buying into what we're trying to do. And he knows that with the COVID situation, as much as people don't want to believe it, his options are going to be limited in the summer. So at the end of the day, right now, he has to be putting in performances as he is now to put himself in the shop window. Him sitting on the bench is not attractive to any of the top teams. So
May I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say the problem we're seeing now is the one that teams want.
So do you feel, and I'm not trying to wind you, but do you feel Bruno is a better player than Pogba?
No. Talent-wise, he's not a better player. But in terms of his effectiveness, he's a better player for us.
Right. Yeah. And do you think Bruno's a better player than David Ginola?
Time will tell. Time will tell.
Oh dear. You know what? I've got a question to Ray, and actually to like Nano as well. But Ray, you like said something about Pogba now playing and quote unquote putting himself in the shop window. So are you saying that Pogba still wants to leave United now? Like,
yes, I believe he still does. I believe he still wants to go.
Okay. Nana?
What was the question again?
Do you think Pogba is literally playing out of his skin so he can look for that next move away from Old Trafford?
I don't think so. I think he's realized he's not a talented man anymore. A point I raised earlier on in terms of benching players to get a reaction out of them, I think that's happened. Yes, Bruno has come in, he's lifted the whole squad up. So now Pogba can sort of relax and play his game. You can see Pogba making 30, 40-yard runs now to try and get the ball back. And that's a different kind of Pogba. You know, Pogba used to get on the pitch and you know, want to boss the game, and he was just flopping badly. The injury made it worse. But now, I think he's buying into the idea of, you know, of the team, of what the squad, what the manager wants to build. And I see Pogba being there for a while to come.
Okay. And this is a question to Mark and also Paul. Two of United goals came down their left, Liverpool's right, and that's on Trent's side. And again, you know, probably this is a two-part question. So I say, Paul, as a manager, don't you think Klopp should have like rectified that or worked that out, especially in the first half? You know, in terms of, you know, on kind of Reece Williams' side, he was literally getting ripped to shreds. Like, you know, don't you think Klopp should have been more active to actually see that happening? And also to like Mark, you know, we can have definitely missed Henderson. We can have definitely missed Henderson. What do you think Wijnaldum should be bringing when Henderson is not in the team? So again, Paul, I want you to answer the first question.
I don't really understand what you think Klopp could have done. On the bench, there wasn't really anything that he could have changed on the bench to do that. The team is set in the way it plays. You just have to play through it sometimes. You just have to play through it. I don't really think there was anything Klopp could have done. I didn't see that as being that much of a problem. I think they deserved the win. We're not in form. They got us at the right time. I just, and it's not just me trying to sugarcoat. I just think they got us at the right time. We're not playing well. I think Trent's played a lot of football. He's young, and he's got a dip at the moment. And Man United found the spot, and they exploited it. Fair play.
So do you think we should be resting Trent, or should he be carrying playing?
sometimes you got to play through your bad performances. Maybe that's what Klopp's doing to him. Sometimes you got to play through it. And again, as I said, it's not the same Trent and it's not the same Robinson because they haven't got the assurance of a VVD or a Gomez at the back. So their game is a little bit different. As before, they were free and easy. They were like midfield players. Now they're more defensive now and having to think. We can't join the attack now because what's at the back? Got two holding midfielders now, you know. So the game has changed a little bit. That's all.
Okay. And Mark, what again with the Ronaldo conundrum right now? You know, let's be real. Like it can look like he's leaving. Liverpool. Ronaldo didn't really do a lot in like today's game, and I was kind of looking at him to like really be the enforcer, but he didn't really do anything. I mean, again, I would kind of look to get your opinion about his performance.
Genius Wijnaldum has brung a sense of sustainability to our midfield. He's one of our most, week in, week out, he's one of your most trusted, consistent players when he plays. He does everything that you would ask of a midfielder to do in terms of, sweep up the loose ends, make sure that, you can drop a shoulder on one or two players and keep the team moving. The thing that Genie doesn't have is that he doesn't have that aggression to tell a person when they're out of place or when they're not doing the right thing. And I think that in the midfield today, I don't think we've got anyone in the team that is like a VVD or a Henderson or probably Milner. Milner is probably one that will have a go at you if you're lacking or if he wants you to do something, push up with the team. But I just think that at the moment, we just don't have a strong voice within the team. And that's a real concern. And the only strong voice you get is Klopp on the bench. I think we need to have that on the pitch too.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Let me kind of go back to the comments. Thank you for everyone that's been coming in. Tyrone Roberts, Fernandes taking a lot of pressure off Pogba, so now he can relax and play his game. South London Vets is probably talking about Fernandes. Imagine he was a January signing. It's true.
There you go.
Tabriz, sorry. I waited to be getting into that. This is just absolute nonsense, this whole January signing business. Do they realize that Fernandes was signed pre-COVID? They're still banging on about this point about people having money in COVID. Fernandes was signed when Man United was still getting 70,000 people in Old Trafford week in, week out. You take that kind of money away from any business and see how much they want to get rid of their cash. I don't know what world they're living in. They're just mad people. The money is not in football that once was.
Yeah, but there was two parts. There were two parts to that point. You guys said the COVID part, the economic impact of COVID, which is a great point. But then you separate point saying that you pay a premium.
Yeah, of course.
January as well. So I think that might have been South United's point that.
No. If you read their comments, Jamal, they're still talking about deals being done in the Jan night now. They're still talking about that. But I get your point. You have to remember, Fernandes, Man United didn't just scout Fernandes in January. We had been looking at him from the summer and from the January before that. So that was a long... Remember, Spurs nearly bought Fernandes when we went in and mucked around, and then Spurs jumped in, but it all fell through. So it nearly didn't happen. So the Fernandes one was a thing that was building for a long period of time. So Man United didn't need to really go and scout Fernandes. We already knew all about him. We knew what Sporting told us they wanted. So that's why there was a deal to be done in January. But you try and go and buy a player now, especially if you're Liverpool, who everybody believes is desperate, and any player becomes £50 million more. Do you want him? Do you want him or not? So this whole notion of going out and buying, it's madness. It's basic business. It's basic business. You're not getting money in. You don't have that money to spend out. And anybody who can't see it, sorry.
Exactly.
Yep.
I would hate to see what their house is like come end of the month.
All right.
So spend off their wages within the first week.
So let me kind of carry on with the comments. Tyrone Roberts said, spot on, Nana, with your comment. Also, Hepburn Security has come in and said, great point about VVD from Paul. He gives others around him confidence. And Hetman Security has also come in and said spot on with like Mark's comment as well. And Sharon Roberts has said, let me click on him before. Everyone seems to forget about Fabinho. He was our shield, and in the middle, and that's a big loss. You know what? 100%, 100%. And sometimes, again, like I don't know if this is controversial. Those type of players who are so good that can play anywhere, it's almost a kind of detrimental effect. When you take them out of their best position, because they can play anywhere. And I think Henderson and Fabinho have kind of fallen into that category. And Hetman Security, Ray has made this point at least twice, but no one seems to see it. It's basic maths.
No, we see it. It's some other people in this panel who can't understand.
And people in the comments, I don't understand.
Yeah. Don't understand.
It's clear as day. It's clear as day. Money's not there.
You must understand how people can't see that. I mean, the Premier League has been a cash cow for a very long time. A lot of people think that they're completely unaffected by COVID, and the Premier League isn't as affected as other industries, but it's still affected. You have to understand how people to see the Premier League as some untouchable force.
That's blind people, Jamal. And the thing is, Paul made this point 2 weeks ago, that football is not operated in the same realms as most other businesses. Footballers they lose money every single year, but they bank on TV money, they bank on gates, those things to get them through it. And because people will always lend the football club money, they've been surviving above their means. But COVID has now pulled them in and said, now you've got to start spending within your means. You got to pull your purse strings in, and I think is now pulled into it, and people are just blind.
Yeah, as long as you can see how and why people see that, because Liverpool could buy someone 50 million, but they probably could either afford or finance it. But as a result of the economic impact of COVID, they shouldn't. So they probably haven't. But you must understand that people just think that there's just endless.
I understand it, but they're wrong, and they need to realize that they're wrong.
Okay,
Jamel. Cool. Also, some of these people that are sprouting and putting in comments, they don't understand how FSG operate. FSG do not spend that big all the time. Just with Red Sox as well, they do not spend big. They might buy one or two. They're not like a Chelsea back in the day. Mm-hmm. That's how FSG's business model is. So Nana can say
for those who aren't sure, can you explain to them what FSG is?
FSG is the people that own Liverpool. Okay, that's the company that own. They also own the baseball team Red Sox, who have been world champions as well. Same business model as how they run in Liverpool. Same business model. They will give the money to the manager to buy the players, but it's not going to be like a Chelsea. They look into individual players and check if it makes sense. It was never going to happen in January. So let them carry on talking and writing their comments. It was never going to happen in January. Simple.
You know what, Paul? And again, in terms of the FSG comment, let's be real. So when we bought Van Dijk and Alisson, that was through the Coutinho money. Yeah. So again, that was kind of that. And then if we're looking at the Thiago signing and also the Jota signing, we sold Brewster to Sheffield United for like 20 million. So let's say that's the Thiago money. And again, FSG seem to pay things in installments. Like, again, exactly what you said before. Like, we're not like Abramovich and other owners. They seem to pay things in installments. And even with the Jota deal, I believe that we only paid 9 million up front, and then it's 3 million every single season after that, which is nothing. So there is a point, and again, let's be real. We've like lost the heart of the team with Van Dijk and Gomez. Don't you think we should have been at least looking at some sort of replacement? Because again, like at this present moment in time, we are still Premiership champions.
But to be honest, they might have been. They might have been looking. We don't know what they were doing. We just always see that they haven't signed anyone, but we don't know what their scouting network was doing. But you got to look at the deals that are out there. I mean, if there's no deal out there, then what do you want them to do? Just make a snap decision and buy someone for everyone to say he's bought crap.
Can I just say something though? Because Liverpool did spend 88 million in the transfer window in September, and that was during a pandemic.
Did they?
Yeah, they spent 88 million altogether on all of their players around that.
Who did they buy? Who did they buy? Sorry, I'm not disputing. I just surprised.
Well, obviously they bought Jota for 40, Thiago for 40, and
no. It was a 20.
Who did we buy for 20?
Thiago.
Yeah. Sorry, we bought Thiago for 25, Jota for 45, and Tamakas for 11.75, and we bought another youngster for 1.8 million.
And how much was that paid up front?
So in
none
terms,
of it was paid up front though, Mark. None of it.
I understand that, but we still spent quite a lot of money. Even if you have to owe them back in a 10 or whatever years time, we spent quite a lot of money in terms of output. My only thing is that the Premier League is a £1 trillion industry with broadcasting rights that are way through unproportional broadcasting rights. Even got to the point where they were charging us pay-per-view, £15 a ticket, and then they realised that the average person is not going to pay that, so they kind of scapped that very quickly. But in terms of football, it's a big money industry. FFG, I totally agree. They've got a model where it's a cutback model. So they will try and buy 2 or 3 players and try and get them at a very premium cost and sell some of our youngsters. Some of the youngsters that we've had is like a breeding ground. So we breed them and then sell them off for crazy prices. Look at over the years of how much players we've sold. But for me, my only concern is that today's FA Cup match, getting back to that was a confidence. We were supposed to win that. Klopp wanted to win that for confidence because of the strength of squad that he had put out. He could have put out some of the fringe players, but he decided to put out the players that over the last couple of games have been pretty poor in my view. My only concern now is that Klopp is not he's not out of the realm of criticism. Obviously, like for me, he's the best manager around. He's done a great job in terms of the crisis of injuries, players out of performance, and now we're running out of steam. But we have to be realistic, and I think that some of the decisions that he's made in terms of the substitutions and also the way he's kind of managed the squad, it leaves me a lot to ponder on.
What are you saying then?
Say again?
What are you saying then? That he's losing the plot?
I don't think he's losing that. Klopp likes heavy metal football, like high intensity, and he's not getting that from the players. And right or wrong, he's still fielding the players that he trusts that can bring the high intensity. And we saw a glimpse of it today in the FA Cup in terms of that Firmino through ball, Salah dink over the keeper. Fantastic. That's the Firmino of old. But 20 minutes later, where is Firmino? It's like he's lost his head. It's like he's lost his mind. It's like he's doing the flicks and tricks, and that intensity is not there no more. And then we bring on Mane. I love Mane. I think Mane is one of the best players in the world currently. But I think something's wrong with Mane at this current time. I think I saw a glimpse when he was taken off the pitch at Crystal Palace, and he was cussing them and blinded. And Salah the following week after that was cussing and blinded. So I think that there's something in that changing room that needs to be addressed because we're starting to see it on the pitch.
Let me explain something. Let me explain something to you. Big players like that want to play every single minute, every single game.
Don't work like that, though. Doesn't work like that.
Not in their mind.
that's
It
the
doesn't work
makeup
like
of top. That's the makeup of top quality football players. They want to play every single game, every single minute. Simple.
Okay.
Why did let me put this to you then? Why did Harry Kane say that he was fit for the Champions League final?
No player is bigger than the club, and no player is bigger than Liverpool. Let me just bring that back to the no
But that's
player.
for the manager to do
No
with
matter
that.
how good you are, Liverpool's always been like that. We can let go of the biggest players.
You've got to understand. You've got to understand. At the end of the day, I hear what you're saying. No player is bigger than the club, and the manager has to be the one to manage that, because you're going to have players who, yes, you want to put out this argument that no player is bigger than the club, but there are some players who you need at the club, and for that time when they're there, you've got to pander to them to a point. We saw it with Fergie when we had Cantona. You saw it with Fergie when we had Ronaldo. When they were going to go, Fergie got on a plane, flew over to them, and took them round and said, give us another season. So sometimes you do have to prepare the club for their exit.
The club of Liverpool don't pander.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You pander to Suarez. Hold on, Paul. You pandered to Suarez when that racism thing happened. You pandered to him.
No.
Pander. You do pander. Yes, you do. Don't try and come here and pretend you don't. You do pander. That's why you put all your players in t-shirts. That's why you put all the players in t-shirts.
All right, okay, you know,
a little boost.
Suarez, Jamie,
okay, you know what? Hold on, wait there. Let me kind of go back to the subject in terms of the United Liverpool match. Coach Barry's been patiently waiting again. Let me kind of get Coach Barry back in.
Come on, Barry, you got extra data this week.
So, what was your overall analysis of the United Liverpool game?
The first point I want to say is like every manager wants to win every game. So any team he picks a team where he thinks is going to win the game. So I think everybody should know that. I thought the game was very, very even. I think it could have gone either way. I think goals came from both teams making mistakes. I don't know who has made a very good point about the centre backs in Liverpool. The two full-backs can't push up, so they've got to get round all the time. They've got to think, I've got to get round, I've got to get round. Williams, to me, is not ready. Very good player from the youth. He is a good player, but he's been stuck into one of the hardest games you're going to see in Europe, the Manchester-Liverpool. And I think they did try to protect him, but it's difficult. And I think the other thing, what people spoke about Henderson, I've heard so many people don't rate Henderson, but Henderson does the work what most footballers don't want to do. And people only recognise sometimes how good a player is when he's not in the team.
Yeah.
So before people just say Henderson ain't that, take him out of Liverpool team, now they say, where's Henderson? Where's Henderson? And there's a lot of players like that. Thiago's just coming to Prem. I think he's going to take a bit of time to get used to the level, the pace, the physicality of it. But he's a fantastic player. I don't see a problem. I just thought today's game was very easy. I think both teams would have been preferred to be played for 3 points. Man United would have preferred 3 points today than going through to the next round. Same with Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's my major thing. But everybody's made good points. Give Nana a break, you guys. You're really...
Well, Barry, he's just angry today. I don't know why.
I think he's
really Nana.
No, Barry, it was my fault because before this show started, I questioned his religion and the team he supported and how he should be supporting the team based on his religion. And just to make it clear to everyone, Nana did kiss the devil today because he kissed his back. But I'm just saying, yeah, it's my fault. I think responsibility. I went to a Christian school my whole life. I thought, boy, that's a different topic. But yeah, it's my fault. I take full responsibility for Nana's baby.
But to Brees, it was a very good game. I enjoyed it end to end, and that's what made the game so good. The mistakes made the game better than what it was. One last point, like Pogba, I think also the problem with Pogba is his agent. I think that's a big problem. And the other thing what people should realise, what's the striker's name? Is it Haaland?
Yeah, same agent.
Haaland agreed to come to Manchester United, but his agent wanted over 20 million. That's why they ended up at Dortmund.
Yeah, not fair.
That's one of the biggest problems in football. So we don't really know what's behind Pogba wanting to leave Man United. It's more than just football. It's much more than football. Now you're seeing how Pogba played for France at United.
Yeah.
He stepped back up his game. And he's
Well,
been
Mark,
more.
I think Mark touched on it inadvertently earlier. I think there was some time. I think everyone can agree with this. There was some times through Pogba's second stint at Manchester United where it felt as if he felt bigger than the club, and that's the impression I felt. And when I see him play for France, and I see this humility. I don't know if it's because he's playing for Didier Deschamps and he looks up to people like that. I don't know what it is, or maybe it's just playing for the country. But when it came to Man United, especially sort of 18 months ago, when him and Jose were having a spat over and over, he felt he was way bigger than the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I add in, we've missed out Marcus Rashford, because that guy there today, he was giving me a lot of heart palpitations in those runs, and the way he's just confident now. So let's not throw the baby at the bath. Fernandes is good, and I think he's raised everybody's game. But when you pass that ball to Rashford, you don't know what that kid's gonna do. Is he gonna cross it? Is he gonna score? Is he gonna, agitate the players? And that's what he done today.
You see, the thing is doing as well. Yeah, but the thing is, with Fernandes, what I like with Fernandes is Man United finally have someone in there who makes demands of the players around him. So when they make mistakes, he's questioning them. What the hell was that? And Man United had this atmosphere where you could do what you want and get away with it. Much like when we had Keane, there was someone to answer to. And you can see Fernand demanding answers from them. What are you passing it over there for?
So fix up.
My only issue with my Man United fans is that if you go through one or two injuries, you lot are dead. So that's my only thing. So you
mustn't wish injuries on people. You mustn't do that. You mustn't do that. As a football fan, you're not supposed to wish injury. Just let us play. As our friend said, let us land.
No, we can't land right about now. We're in injury zone. But all I'm just saying, with you Man United, once you don't get one or two injuries, then talk to us. We want to hear. We want to hear from those low Man United fans that are kissing their badges and up.
Kiss the devil again. Kiss the devil again.
Yeah, coach.
Kiss the devil again. I'm just saying.
Shut up. I've said it before in terms of the injuries. Like I said it at the beginning.
Coach,
what do you mean? You just had your word. Oh man.
No, relax. Coach Barry, final word for you.
On the same topic.
Yes.
The last thing I was going to say, you said about Fernandes. I think Fernandes has brought, like Raymond said, he's brought that presence into the team. He's done a little bit like remember when Cantona came to Man United?
Yep.
And he changed it. He's done a little bit. He's got a little bit of that. What's the striker called? Ibrahimovic?
Yeah.
Because they said he's got a great presence, not just on the pitch, but also in the changing room. He has that presence, and some players have that presence. And I think he's raised the level of everybody around him as well. So they do well. But I do agree, if they do get a few, like any team gets viral injury, the team, the squad will suffer. But good debate, gentlemen. Carry on.
Thank you. Thank you, coach. And then Emeka is still here, so I'm going to add Emeka to this feed. What did you think about the United Liverpool game?
I think it was the game that everyone expected to see. United played on the counter. It was a tight game.
Hold on, someone's like in audio is going AWOL. Is that you, Nana?
What?
Yeah, you know what? It's Nana's audio. Can you believe that? Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Nana, there's like something wrong with your audio.
You've muted me, but it's still going on. So why are you saying it's me?
Carry on, sorry. Yeah, so I just said it was the game that everyone expected to see, I think. And on that, the Trent. I think that the way that Liverpool play, I think Trent's always been a liability defensively. So I think, if you're a team playing up against Liverpool, especially in the form they're in at the moment, especially when you have Williams next to him, that side was always going to get exploited.
You're going too far. Trent has never been a liability. Let's not go too far.
Defensively, he's awful. Let's be clear.
Look at our defensive record last season. Where was our defensive record last season? Not 2 seasons. We lost about 3 or 4 games.
If you listen to my point earlier, the way that Liverpool play is they pin you in. So even when you take possession from them,
2 seasons, the last 2 seasons running.
Yeah, and they win it back at such a rate that he doesn't get exposed. But the times when you do have good possession against Liverpool, as you saw today, defensively is terrible. Whereas if you look at the opposite side in United, Wan-Bissaka is great in a 1v1, but going forward, he's terrible. Like, defenders have different attributes. That's why, Wan-Bissaka is not great going forward. So you can expect that Liverpool let Wan-Bissaka go forward today because they know
he's not going to have it. I can see in Mark's face, he's not going to have it.
You guys have got short memories. We done for the last 2 seasons.
But I don't understand how I can't understand the point that when someone goes in 1v1, Trent's not good in a 1v1. He's not.
He's got liability though. He's one of the best. He's one of the best.
Yeah, your words were he's terrible. How can you say
I said
that?
he's a liability. I said defensively he is. He's your weakest defender. He is your weakest defender. Who's the weakest defender?
So when we played Man City and Jesus was up against him and he played a solid 10 out of 10 game, he wasn't a liability then.
Okay, yeah, because you're picking up one game. Overall, he's not a good defender. That's just the long and short of it. He's not a great defender. By Premier League standards, he's not great defensively. Going forward, he's great, and that's why overall he is a great player. But in that one asset of his game, in a 1v1, he's not great.
I think internet is finished now. So please, can I get an apology, please?
Hold on, Emeka, thank you so much. Let me kind of go into the comments. The highlight of this podcast is 95% or is Nana. Let me kind of try and get a few comments here. Paul has a Desert Eagle cocked at all times. Again, you know what? Gun violence. No, you know what? Please, put your guns and like knives away.
Oh, shut up and move on. Who's talking about that?
There is definitely smoke between Salah and Mane, and it's been going on for about a year. I would say it's probably been going on longer, but I think it's purely the fact now that we've kind of hit a bit of a bumpy road. So it's just probably come out a little bit more.
Today, you saw it today. Salah could have just squared it to Mane. Mane just come on fresh.
Yeah. I saw that one.
To the left, and it would have been a different scenario now. Most of the Man United men that are kissing their badges, they wouldn't be kissing their badges. It would have been a major upset.
So too much.
Yeah. If literally I'm Salah, I'm getting 20 this season, and if you kind of want to take me off for like 5 goals,
you don't need to put more respect in the Origi name. Trust me.
You know what? It's one of those things. Origi can't tie up Firmino's left boot. Not too sure about that. Devil. Liverpool are dead food. Okay.
Arsenal fan, right?
Yeah, that's an Arsenal fan, right? Right there. And the last one, Nana is the star of this show. Nana, you're not.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm just waiting for an apology from you.
Apology from me?
Because I was muted for almost 10 minutes, and this feedback is still there.
You wasn't muted for 10 minutes.
I was muted. I muted myself. Well, you said it.
But that wasn't 10 minutes, no.
Oh, fine. It wasn't 10 minutes, but it's still there.
He's over there lying.
I'm waiting for an apology from you.
That's what I was muted.
I'm waiting for an apology from you. This is what I mentioned about being passionate.
Please don't apologize. Don't apologize. Stand your ground.
So you know what?
It'll be a 10, Ray. Don't worry. It'll be a 10.
You know what? And again, I kind of want to probably talk to the Liverpool fans here, and literally, I know that we've been talking about Liverpool right now defensively, and especially in this United game. I don't know if anyone saw it. I think for Greenwood's first goal, Robinson tried to shout at him to try and put him off. Rather than doing his defensive work, he thought he could shout at him to actually, create, some.
Are you sure, Tabrice?
Yes, he did.
It was Robinson.
That was Robinson. Trust me.
Robertson's the left back.
Milner, actually.
Yeah, Robertson's the left back.
It was Milner.
No, I'm sure it was Robinson. I'm sure.
Robertson's the left back. So what defensive work we've done because that came down there right.
Okay. All right. So if it was Milner, Robinson. Apologies.
Just like you're not sure who's giving the feedback, innit?
No. Hold on. You know what? It was Robinson. You know what? Thank you, Emeka.
Yeah, but you can't blame him. But then you can't blame Robinson because Robinson's over the other side. There's not much he could have done other than shout.
It was kind of Robinson. But you know what? I think like the biggest thing for me was in the last couple of minutes. Yeah, and again, I've got to rate United for this. Lindelof actually had Origi's shirt. He was, when Liverpool were, literally on the attack, he literally grabbed. It was so blatant. That was great foul.
Yeah,
great foul.
Yeah.
And at this present moment in time, Liverpool have experienced players. We don't have that type of aggression, and literally, we kind of Liverpool for me still want to play the same way. Where is that grit? Where is that dirt?
Are you going to cry because you didn't get a foul to win the game?
No, but you know what? I'm actually being.
They did get a foul.
No, but you know
they
what?
did get the foul.
Yeah,
What he's talking about is the dark arts. Is the dark
art of literally playing. And again, this is like a question to like
Milner put his foot in. He did put his. He gave a few of those Man United players a few little touches. I saw that.
No. But
Fabinho coming through the back of Edison.
Yeah. Milner gave
a. What are you talking about? Great. You trying nonsense. Liverpool played a good game. It could have gone anywhere. We were lucky to win today. We were the better team on the night. End of. There's nothing about great or whatever. If Liverpool were playing the same way they played last season, they would have scored a lot more goals. It's that simple. We were better than them today. End of.
To Breeze, you see, the problem is Klopp has got a big problem in rotation. He's kept a consistent team for the last 2 to 3 years. And he's running to the ground, basically. That team has been running to the ground. They've been rinsed. And now he's trying to rotate with the fringe players. And with some of those fringe players, where he hasn't rotated them frequently, they're rusty. They're not going to be at their peak performance as the rest of those players that have been running to the ground. And that's the main problem with Liverpool FC at this current time. We've got a mix and blend team of rundown players and players that have always been on the fringe, and Klopp's kept them on the fringe.
When they won the league, they outrun every single team in the league. Do you remember that? The stats showed they outworked every single team in the league. They are human beings. They can't do that season after season. Hence, I go back to the point of strength in depth, because even you have to rotate. You have to have, if you want to be consistent. Now, every single team, Liverpool has most of the balls when they play almost every single team in the league. But there's always banks of 5 or 6, or they will figure out a way try and catch you on the counter attack. And when you are getting tired, your brain doesn't work like it should be. Your reaction time, everything. It's not as it should be.
So
you know what I'm saying? So
I wonder what Paul, why do you? Because I think a lot of people would agree with Nana's consensus, especially with the up to index stats in regards to how much your players actually run. But why do you react that way, Paul? When
it's just because it's coming from me.
You think so?
No, it's not because it's coming from you, because you've been talking about this all night, Nana.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I've spoke rubbish and I've spoke one sensible thing, and you're still shaking your
about the so-called
head.
The Liverpool. Let me ask you, new guy. Do you play football?
Yeah, I used to.
Okay, so we're grassroots footballers, so that's all we can talk about. We don't know at the top end what they do at training, what the managers see. Grassroots, when you've got a team and they're winning week after week after week, you don't rotate. Okay? You don't rotate. When you're winning, you don't feel tired. You don't feel tired. You keep the team as it is. Why am I going to drop my centre back if they're winning to bring in somebody else. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
But can I?
Before you do, let me hear him. Ray.
One sec. Klopp in the last 2 interviews have said I've needed to rotate. So what? I don't understand what you. Even though you might say that,
this is a season like no other. Of course, he has to rotate.
Oh, excuse me, Ray.
First 11.
No, but
Independent FC, man. Hold on, Independent FC, our team. Where Ray's the manager and Paul is number 2. Even that. Paul said we are dealing with grassroots, isn't it? So we're not talking about elite football. We're not talking about Premier League. That's what he said when he started this argument. Even this grassroots football, he rotates. Ray rotates. So what the hell is he talking about? You have to rotate. They are human beings. The kind of football that Liverpool plays is crazy. It's crazy. You cannot start every single team 11, every single team.
But I'm gonna have to kill that argument. You cannot compare what I do with Independent, what Klopp does with Liverpool.
Exactly.
My reasons for rotating are completely different to why Klopp would rotate. If I was paying you, for example, 90 grand a week, I don't need to worry about your feelings whether you get minutes or not. I'm paying you 90 grand a week. Where you pay for Independent to play each season, I've got to consider your feelings. I can't have you standing on the sideline for 6 months not getting on the pitch because you've paid X amount to play. So I've got different concerns. So you can't compare the run-ins of a vets team to the professional machine that is Liverpool FC.
He said grassroots football. He says grassroots football, and I'm saying he said that
you can't compare the rotation to
that. You are twisting the argument. What Paul said is grassroots football. Even in grassroots football, when you have the same 11 winning a game, you do not change the team.
I do.
I'm saying. So
I do.
That is what I'm saying. And even if you are changing
if you were a professional team, I wouldn't change it. What I'm saying is, if we were a professional team and I'm paying 90 grand a week, I wouldn't change a thing.
No, but Paul said his grassroots team was winning week after week.
According to his word. According to his word.
He did.
And I'm saying that's follow. Because there's reason for rotating.
Jamal, that's me. If I was as Ray said.
I have the argument with Paul every week.
Thank you.
I have the argument with Paul every week.
It's a natural difference in philosophy between the two of you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we have a discussion. Every single week when I'm going to make changes, Paul is like, I wouldn't. And luckily for me, more often than not, it pays off. The person comes in and does well. If left to Paul, we probably would make changes.
At elite level, what you'll find is that the top managers will probably not rotate in terms of take the player out from the start of the game, but they'll take them out halfway through as they're convinced that the game is won or they're in a healthy position to lead that game. But I think at the moment for Liverpool is that these players have been burnt to the ground. And to the point that now is that our weaknesses have shown. And to be honest with you, look, you've got to give us a lot of credit. You've got to give us the credit for the fact that we've got 2 midfielders in central defence holding it down and we're still in the top 5. So at least there's some credit where it's due. Is it sustainable? I doubt it. Do we need those players? Look, if Fabinho and Henderson were in central midfield and we had a decent centre-backs, I think we'll be not only contending for the league, I'll be putting it down to say that we're going to win it by probably March or April, but it's not. So we just got to work with what we have.
And you know what? I just want to say, of course, this is COVID. The Liverpool players, actually, the whole Premier League haven't really had that time to recuperate and recover as well. And actually, how Klopp plays, everyone knows it's kind of almost gun-ho football, and players do need a rest, but also as well. I think now the Liverpool squad is now being exposed in terms of the weaknesses and I would say the weaknesses that we kind of do have. So I do agree in terms of what Nana's saying, and I do agree in terms of what Paul's saying. You don't change a winning team, but in this type of circumstance and, in this type of season, you have to look at Liverpool as Premiership champions and also world and European, or former world and European champions. Let's see the depth of this squad. Let's see if Klopp actually trusts the players coming through.
I think you're harsh to this. I think you're harsh.
I don't think I'm harsh.
The reason why I think you're harsh, you're saying about the depth of Liverpool's squad. No manager can prepare for the injuries that Liverpool have had. It's not like you can't make a plan. I'm going to lose Van Dijk. I'm going to lose Matip. I'm going to lose Gomez. Like, you can't plan for that. I mean, how many teams in the world have 5 top centre-backs ready to step in at a moment's notice? Like, it's going to catch you out. I think Liverpool, that's why I think there's so much panicking going on even on here and outside. I think if you told me that Liverpool were going to lose those centre-backs and still be within 6 points at the top of the table, I'd be shocked. Because I thought they'd have dropped the playoff.
What you're saying, I absolutely agree with what you're saying, but Klopp a month ago was on TV complaining about broadcasters putting on freak matches and his players are getting tired. But then when the broadcaster said, actually, Klopp, it's your team that have co-signed to play at these times in the day and to have this high level of frequency. Now, in the last 2 or 3 days, he's talking about, I got to rotate, I've got to take some players out and bring some players in. I think he's just running out of things to say in the sense that he's burnt out these players.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Liverpool chose to play at those times, are you saying?
The FA. It wasn't.
Okay, so that's not Liverpool. That's not Liverpool.
But Liverpool co-signed it because at the end of the day, you're agreeing with the FA, right?
The BBC and Sky have got slots in Asia that they want to sell, so they put these games on at premium times.
But the broadcasters
want to sell them.
Yeah.
So that's not Liverpool. That's not Liverpool wanting these games at these times. It's the FA and it's the broadcasters. Am I right?
I wouldn't even say the FA. I would say it's the people with the money.
Again,
the people with the money. That's what Ollie was complaining about. Ollie was complaining about the 12 o'clock kickoff.
That's on that because I think Liverpool will have a say in that a little bit. The FA will have a say in that.
Liverpool has a say when they play football.
FA will have a say in that.
I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. For the same reason,
I don't. Yeah, but like, listen, we've seen the managers arguing to and fro about you have to play 2 or 3 games on the trot.
It's money talk.
Like money in a week or yes, money talks. But I have to check on that because I don't think the broadcasters just take a time and say you're playing here, you're playing at this time.
Of course they do. That's part of the contract. That's why they pay them that big money. Think of it. It came out when Ollie was complaining about the 12 o'clock kickoff. As Mark said, Asia is a massive market that these broadcasters want to fill.
Exactly.
And there's slots that they need to put games in. They can't put West Brom, with all due respect to West Brom and Burnley, in that slot every single week. So Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea have to go into that slot. And they don't get a say. Look at what's his name? What's the guy's name? What's his name? The Fulham manager when he nearly lost his mind, where he got told a week. Scott Parker, he got told within a week you're playing. He was losing his mind. He didn't have a say in it.
Jamal,
when they pay certain money, they tell the Premier League we need games at this time, and don't try and give us all rubbish teams. Everybody has to have a goal in this slot. Fergie was complaining about it. Nothing's changed. It's money. Money talks.
Jamal, can you?
I think we digress though still because if all the top teams have to play in certain time slots, and when it comes in terms of Liverpool, again we can always go back and say that if they have the necessary reinforcements, then they'll do a lot better. Because I think Liverpool set the bar to a certain standard over the last 3 years. And everybody is expecting them to do the same thing. Like at the beginning of the season, everybody was thinking Liverpool was gonna run away with it again because of how they were playing. Obviously, it hasn't happened because of the injuries.
Yeah, but
What's
they've
that got
lost.
to do with what we were
They've
talking
lost 3 top defenders, or their 3 top defenders. They lost.
Still,
They
All right,
couldn't
okay.
plan for that.
You know what? Let me just put a full stop. The last question to all of you. I will start from Nana. Do you think United are going to win the FA Cup? Yes or a no? Okay, so that's a yes then. Jamal, yes or no, please?
I don't think they will win it.
Okay. Paul.
no, Arsenal win it. Where are they?
Paul.
Your team?
Sorry, to Bruce.
Do you think United are going to win the FA Cup?
Well, they're still in the hat, so it's a possibility. They're still there.
But do you think that they are?
It doesn't matter what
He's answered your bloody question. Why are you
It doesn't matter
taking
what
him
I
for?
think. I don't
No, but
think
again,
it doesn't
but Paul, you're sitting on the fence. It's either a yes
matter.
or a no.
I switch off from FA Cup now. We're out, so I switch off from that now.
Okay, fair enough.
Move on.
Ray,
Too early to tell. It's round 5. Lots can happen. We're in the hat. I'll take that. I hope they win it, but way
You
too early
don't
to tell.
believe in your team, fam.
It's not a question of not believing in my team. It could be a bad referee decision from these celebrity referees.
okay. Well, you know, let's stop it there. Mark, do you think United will win the FA Cup?
I think they'll win on penalties. So every other match, I think that they don't even need VAR no more. They should give them a penalty for free. You know what I mean? Christmas time.
I hate us, man.
Oh no, thank you, guys. Nana, Jamal, Paul, Ray, and the special guest Mark. Thank you for being on the panel. Thank you for all of the comments. Emeka and Coach Barry, thank you for your input. This has been the Amateur Football Unhinged. Watch out for...
Sorry, Tabriz. Before you go, Tabriz, sorry. You see, Mark, this is the type of guest we want as a special guest panelist. This is the kind of person we want. Them other ones you bring, no, bring him.
And can I say one thing to Breeze?
Go on. Yeah.
Independent Vets football team. Vets is over 35s. So any players who think they can join us, obviously this season's probably a no-no, but we will be putting on the screen later on in the season or pre-season when we're going to start, where we're going to start in London, Southeast London. Come down, show us what you're worth, and if you're good enough, come and join us. Over 35 though, over 35. Especially
and none doesn't represent us, please.
We're especially looking for centre backs.
You see, I'm actually going to quit this football club, I'm going to quit. I'm going to leave and they'll smell the pepe.
Ones that don't
like my dad would say, they'll smell the pepe.
I mean, you know what? One more comment before we actually tune out. Emeka again as a part of the show. Someone please take Nana's spot. I know he can't play centre back. So you know what, Nana?
No, that's not fair. I need to respond to that. Like I will say again.
Reese, mute him.
Without me, Paul is nothing.
Mute him.
Yeah? Paul will brag and say he's won the nationals and whatnot. Without me, he's nothing.
Someone take Nana's.
Without me, he hasn't won anything. He's only number 2.
You know
yes?
what? I'm gonna stand up for Nana. I'm gonna stand up for Nana. Nana's a good player. I'll stand up.
You know what?
That's rude. That's just downright rude.
I've publicly said that Nana is one of the best centre backs. Definitely.
It's my last reason I'm independent, by the way.
You say that to anybody, Tabriz. Nana's a good player.
Guys, thank you again for tuning in. Mark, again, thank you for being a guest. And I might have to invite you back. Guys, please subscribe to the Amateur Footballer. And again, please go to the Independent Vets YouTube page. I will literally put all of the details in the description. Also go to the London FA page as well, with all of the cup competitions, all of the information about COVID, and hopefully, fingers crossed, when we come out of lockdown, we can get these cup competitions done, we can get the leagues done, and again, just to kind of get out there and literally play football. This is a football debate show. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone loves the game. So again, thank you everyone that's been tuning in. This is the Unhinged Amateur Footballer. I bid you adieu.